We start your 9 o'clock hour with some breaking news about the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. If you are just joining us in the last half hour, Utah's governor and director of public safety, as well as FBI Director Kash Patel, finished a press conference, and we've got the latest details. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Corey Rose. Utah's governor says the suspect accused of assassinating Kirk acted alone, but investigators are still piecing together the motive behind the attack.
That's right. Authorities identified the shooter as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who they say opposed Kirk's political views and later confessed to a family friend. Governor Spencer Cox says investigators tied Robinson to the killing using engraved bullets found in a bolt-action rifle believed to be the murder weapon, along with messages that Robinson sent to a roommate after the shooting.
It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times.
Officials say that Kirk was shot once Wednesday while speaking at a Turning Point USA debate at Utah Valley University. The attack captured on video sent spectators running and sparked a massive manhunt that ended with Robinson's arrest early this morning. The shooting has drawn condemnation from leaders of both parties, including President Trump, who says that he will honor Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
This morning, we are continuing our coverage of the devastating shooting at Evergreen High School earlier this week.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, the two students who were hurt are still in the hospital in critical condition. One of them has been identified by family as 18-year-old Matthew Silverstone. The student's family says that they appreciate all the support they have received, but are asking for privacy at this time.
We are also learning more about the person who opened fire shooting the students. The shooter was 16-year-old Desmond Hawley. Investigators say he was radicalized by an extremist network, but they did not offer further details when asked. As of this morning, we still don't know how he got the gun. 9 News Investigates has confirmed the shooter posted a photo of a handgun on social media. The first on September 5th last week, and then again shortly before the shooting. The gun in the social media post is a revolver, the type of weapon investigators said the shooter used, and the type of weapon found on the ground in the area where he shot himself after shooting 2 students. Now, since the shooting, people in Evergreen are leaning on each other. They came together last night at Buchanan Park for music, prayer, and reflection. Our Matt Renew has more.
3 sisters captured the moment that they hid in a classroom during the shooting. Bella Katie and Haley Clarkson are triplets. They were spending their lunch break together when they heard a gunshot. They hid in a classroom with their teacher and some other students for 45 minutes. Katie captured some of it on her phone. The sisters say it was terrifying, but there was one thing that they're grateful for.
Like, if I'm ever in a school shooting, like, I'm gonna be so worried where my siblings are, so I'm so glad that we were together and I wasn't worried about what they were. Are they okay?
Eventually, those sisters were led out of the building by law enforcement. They left all of their belongings in the high school and haven't been able to come back to get their belongings because the high school was closed yesterday and is closed again today. We're working to try to find out when students will be able to return to the Evergreen High School. Until then, reporting from Evergreen, Matt Renew, 9 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. And students are trying to take action following this latest school shooting. Several Colorado schools are planning walkouts against gun violence. Today, both Jefferson Junior and Senior High, Wheat Ridge High, and Stanley Lake High School will host their own. Those are set to happen between noon and 3 p.m. Help is available also for anybody who needs it. If you are struggling, you can call Colorado Crisis Services at the number on your screen, or you can text the word TALK to 38255. We also have a full list of mental health resources and an article on the homepage of our website, 9news.com.
All right, let's take a live look outside right now. It's 9:04 on your Friday morning. This is at Fort Collins at the CSU campus. A lot of clouds to start out the day. Today, we're going to cool it down a little to the lower 80s, and then even more changes as we roll into the weekend.
Yeah, it's about time. Let's get over to Katie LaSalle for a check of that forecast. Katie, you know I'm all about this.
Jordan, you cannot hide that excitement, can you? Upper 70s, yes, this weekend for both Saturday and Sunday's highs, but today, Corey, it will cool down a touch, closer to seasonal normals, and it's pretty pleasant outside right now. Mostly to partly cloudy skies, 72 degrees out at the airport, and further out across the plains, a little more cloud coverage A range of conditions across Colorado this Friday morning. We made it to the end of the week, and we're also continuing to see moisture stream in. We've seen some raindrops over there in Glenwood Springs, and more widespread storm and shower activity will continue to move into our central and southern mountains. Over the past hour or so, near Crested Butte and Montrose, some rain falling there. Near Akron, a few light sprinkles, partly to mostly cloudy skies and dry here in Denver this morning, where temperatures are now in the low 70s from Firestone down into Colorado Springs. In the mountains this morning, it's 50 degrees in Granby and Kremling right now, and you can see from our hourly planner across the metro area still pretty quiet as we go through the next several hours. Highs today topping out in the low 80s, Greeley, downtown Denver, and then over southeastern Colorado still pretty warm. We're expecting 90s there. In the mountains today, a very different story. So a tale of two sides of the state. The most moisture and slowest moving storms off to our west, but we still have a chance for scattered thunderstorm activity here for the Denver metro area later on today. So wet conditions set to arrive, flooding the main impact and concern with some of these slow moving cells that will continue to move into our central and southern mountains. Chance for a little bit of rain first around 2 o'clock, and then here across the Denver area, good chance later on this evening through about 9 p.m. of seeing those thunderstorms rumble across the I-25 corridor. So if you have outdoor plans for both today and tomorrow, just make sure you have a plan B and be prepared for some wet weather. Risk of severe weather is low, and then cooler temperatures with clearing skies by the end of the weekend. So quieter conditions return. Your 7 days still to come.
Katie, thank you. With court set to reconvene today, disgraced funeral home director John Halford will need to decide whether to accept or reject a new plea deal. According to an email sent to the victims' families by the district attorney's office, the prosecution is offering Halford a plea deal to serve 30 to 50 years. John is currently facing 191 counts of abuse of a corpse. He and his wife, Carrie, are accused of leaving close to 200 bodies to stack up and decay in their funeral home, Return to Nature. A judge will ultimately choose the length of the sentence and also decide whether it will run concurrently or consecutively with John's sentence for wire fraud.
Today, a former paramedic is set to be arraigned on manslaughter and forgery charges in the death of a man who died in police custody. Officials say that Edward McClure injected 36-year-old Jesus Lopez Barcenas with a sedative. He then placed him in a prone position on a gurney, which is a violation of medical protocols. Barcenas went into cardiac arrest and died 2 days later. This case has drawn renewed attention to the dangers of prone positioning, which experts have warned about for more than a decade.
Denver prosecutors mistakenly withheld police reports from defense attorneys in as many as 800 criminal cases over the past 3 years. The error came from automated software that misfiled documents, a potential violation of the court rule known as discovery. Discovery requires all evidence to be shared with the defense, but in these cases, some files were routed to folders prosecutors didn't even know existed. That means plea deals and jury convictions could be challenged, and prosecutors could face sanctions.
The key point when you review cases for discovery violations is the materiality, the importance of the information that was not provided.
Prosecutors are now reviewing every case, turning over missing documents and assessing what effect the mistakes may have. Some cases have already closed while others are still pending, and experts say some convictions could potentially be reopened.
Meanwhile, Denver has now become one of 26 local governments to back California Governor Gavin Newsom's legal challenge against President Donald Trump. This all stems from the deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles earlier this summer. Our partners at the Denver Gazette say that Denver officials argue the deployment was a risk to the constitutional rights of residents and the general welfare of the public. Mayor Mike Johnston says that the Trump administration is creating a federal police state, which worsens the relationship between citizens and local law enforcement. This all comes as Denver joined efforts to combat other Trump policies and orders, including those surrounding immigration policies and FEMA funding.
New this morning, President Trump says he is going to send the National Guard to Memphis to tackle crime with support of the mayor and Tennessee governor. President Trump says Memphis is deeply troubled and promises to fix that. The move follows similar deployments to Washington and Los Angeles, where federal officers and Guard members were sent to protect property and assist in law enforcement. He also floated the idea of sending troops to other major cities like Chicago and Baltimore, but local leaders there are pushing back.